Hello, my name is Dr. Bagley. I'd like to thank you very much. Today I want to give you a presentation. This presentation is for possible VCs and investors out there to tell you a little bit about OEWinery Winery Incorporated. Today we're going to talk about the history, our product, supplies and demand, plane of investments. Now, the story behind the wine in the first place, I was in the military, and when we went overseas, we couldn't bring alcohol, but the Brits could. So what we did was we took and trade alcohol for supplies. So in 2011, I decided to make it because of the 2012 scare. And 2012, because there was no scare, I started tweaking it because a lot of people saying they really liked my wine. And basically what I wanted to do was make it a little bit more holistic. In 2018, we got the recipe down packed. We got a lot of traction as far as buyers. We have a lot of people also who really wanted to invest, the friends and family, those who actually enjoyed it with me and do parties and stuff like that. And in 2018, we incorporated as a C corporation, and we have our state and federal license for the winery where we're making wine at. It's a non-GMO product, all natural, organic. We get it from a co-op within Midwest where it's verified through their process, and we just purchase it from them. It's no chemicals in it. Now, what I mean by no chemicals, we're really referring to sulfurites. The sulfurites is a big problem when it comes to the consumer, where they get headaches and get hangovers and things of that nature. So we decided to make the product in a way, nothing different than what everyone else does, but just in a way where we allow the yeast to die out in its own environment. So therefore we need no chemicals. Then through the process, I decided, hey, why are we even using tap water? Because tap water has chlorines and all of these other chemicals within itself. So let's not use tap water. So we decided to use reverse osmosis. So you see reverse osmosis there. The non-chemical, backing up just for a second, the non-chemical aspect of the sulfurites that actually stops the yeast, when we stopped doing that, we found that the environment that the yeast cannot survive in is roughly around 19% by volume. So it's a plus or minus 19% alcohol content with zero sulfurites and non-GMO, 100% organic, all natural grape juices that has reverse osmosis water. Now, why is that important within these four categories? There's thousands of wines nationally, but out of the whole nation, a lot of them have non-GMO organic grapes and the juices. A lot of them. So that's nothing new. No chemicals, no sulfurites. We're 1 in 5 in the nation that has, we can say, no chemicals. We're the only ones in the nation that does not use tap water or well water. We use reverse osmosis water. We're the only ones. And because of this process, our alcohol is 19% volume. In our consumer purchasing and as well as our marketing, they were referring to our wine as port. Well, what is port? It's a 14% alcohol by volume wine, and they add a hard liquor to it. Well, this has no hard liquor. It is a actual wine processing that comes out at a 19%. No added, nothing else. Juice, yeast, a little sugar because of the grapes that we use is a little tart, so we need to sweeten it up just a little bit, and water, reverse osmosis water. So we're the only ones in the nation that has this combination within the process. So the supply and demands is the product is licensed in Brookfield, Wisconsin. So that's really where I want to stay. The next stage in raising money, the second stage of raising money we're going to take it on the outside of Brookfield into a bigger facility. So it won't be in Brookfield, it'll be in a different city. At the present state in Brookfield, though, we do make about 75 gallons each month. As of right now, since 2018, all of 2019 so far, besides the processing, besides the labeling, besides figuring out the right bottles, the marketing side of it, and everything, within the last 3 or 4 months now, we've actually gone out to the public, and we put it in Otto's, we put it in Metcalf's, and then various liquor stores. Otto's is a wine and spirits store. They have about 7. Metcalf is a full grocery store. They have about 4 grocery stores, and liquor stores is there. So we have traction right now for 75 gallons of wine, or roughly about 20 cases of 12 bottles in each case. We're growing organically. We're growing very slowly, but we're growing at a 100% rate each month. Now, the next one is the demand. This is really where we need your help and your assistance, the demand. So locally, we have grocery stores that is no longer independent, but they're now owned by Kroger's. So we applied with Kroger's, and we've been accepted to be a vendor for Kroger's. Hence, we can now go to take care of our local, but now we have an opportunity to go national. Because of the Kroger's account, and we feel confident of the requirement that it was met for their processing, we've already started with Costco's, Whole Foods, and we haven't with Walmart yet because that's a beast. We just simply applied for it. It's going to take some time for the acceptance, but once we get the acceptance with the national campaign called Kroger's and the other national, we really, really need to get your help. This is why in 2019, our objective right now is to have the VCs to help us scale up to the warehouse so we can take care of the warehouse's expenses, the utilities, buy equipment, supplies, and hire new employees. In 2020 is really when it gets very interesting. What's going to happen is within 3 months, we're going to IPO. We need to IPO to handle the volume for the vending that's out there if we get accepted with Costco and Whole Foods and possibly Walmart and so on. So if we get those accounts, those vending accounts, we need to massively scale up. And in that process, we need to IPO. So within 3 months of getting the warehouse, the equipment, supplies, and hiring, 3 months after that, once that process, it takes about 2 months to do our first fermentation. We've already worked out logistics with a local beer facility course. Just a verbal, we're still working on hashing out the final. They're waiting for the production aspect of it. So until then, we'll get that. But once that, all of that process, once that is complete, then we'll have 3 months after that. The broker is already, everything is already pre-set up. SEC will be pre-set up as also. So we're going to IPO in the OTC market. And then once we get into that process, in our pipeline, we're going to introduce a red dry. We have a 90 proof. Well, even locally, our bars is really waiting for the 90 proof. They're very excited for that one. Then we're going to get into our whites, and then the white sweets and the white dries. Once we get into that, it's unlimited what we can and will do. But this is our pipeline immediately, which it will take literally for about a year, maybe 2 years, just to go through it first time with the sweet, and then back around with the dry, and then replenishing with the sweet, the dry, and the 90 proof, and so on and so forth. So within 2 years, we literally see a nice growth. And what that translates once we IPO is called dividends and the stock itself. nationally, if we do the research in the stocks that's already IPOing, we're looking between $50 to $100 per share, and we do not anticipate anything less than that, due to the fact that we're the only ones organically, 100% organically, all the way through wine that's out there. So everything we're going to do is keep in that same process and that same standard. What we're looking right now for is about $125,000. That'll take us for the first 6 months of our operation, hiring people and so on. And then we're also pushing towards 35 shareholders. So if a couple of you guys can help us out with the finances, we then can drop down the requirement of our shareholders to calculate 35 shareholders. Once that happens, that timeline is about 3 months before we can get our first production out into the stores, and then IPO is right after that. Real quick, and this is real what we're looking at. So during and after our investments, we're looking organically growing about $71,000 within that first year. The second seed investment or VC funding is $125,000. That gives us close to $200,000. SEC rule says as long as we have over $100,000 in assets, then we can IPO with the 35 shareholders. Of course, this is our expenses, and then all the way here down, dividends per quarter. So immediately, as soon as we get into this process, like I said, it'll take 3 months. The first year or year one, we're literally looking at about 2020. And then some of my investors, we've already going to start that process in December, our fourth quarter. We'll start the process of giving out dividends. But for everyone else who comes on board, we're looking roughly in that first year, let's call it first year, around about 73 cents per quarter, and then 239. So that's, if you, depending on what you give, so let's say 100,000 shares and $125,000, we're looking at about a minus ROI 41. Then we pick it up from there, and from there and there and there. 5 years, if we don't even IPO, you're still going to make over 200% of your investment. If we IPO, that number is unlimited depending on what you allow me to do within first 5 years. All right, so this is just real quick and dirty, nothing special, no benefit. I'm not trying to hype it up or nothing. This is absolutely, if you have helped me with the investment, 125,000, this is what it's going to look like without anything other than what we already have in production. All right, so that's all I have today. So thank you very much. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you have my contact information. You can email me, call me, text me. I'll get in contact with you. Let's talk about this thing. Let's get this thing going. We're already waiting to make this money, and we need your help like now so we can start this process. And I don't want to start the process until I have the money that I need, or the capital, I should say, that I need to start the process, because I like to make sure we do what we're going to do. So from here, if you want to continuously listen, these are the testimonies coming up. And again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, I'm here for you.
I was putting on Facebook. I actually put that wine on Facebook, and I'll tell you, man, that was an experience. I came home, and it was so funny. I came home, I had a long day, and I'm like, oh, I'm a little bit stressed out, you know, and I'm like, I need something, man, to kind of bring me down, man, because it's late. So I said, you know, I saw this wine that you gave me, and I figured, hey, let me get a little crackers, let me get a little cheese, you know. So I had the first cup. I'm like, oh, this is nice, man. It automatically kind of like told me to get something to eat, you know what I mean? Because I was kind of like, you know, like the munchies type. So I started sitting back. I was watching NFL Network. Started drinking it, but it was smooth, man. It was
Thank
smooth. It had a great texture. It was not even a aftertaste to it. You know what I mean? It was actually very good. You know, very sweet, very smooth. Um, After I got done, man, I was like, man, I passed out, slept. You know, woke up the next day so refreshed, like just ready to go to work and do my thing. You know what I mean? Top farm payment. So, you know, I really recommend this wine to people that really want to say, hey, you know, I had a long day, kick my shoes off. For me, on a personal, I think this is a wine that could be really relaxing after having a long day because it has that nice, um, you know, you know, that real nice texture that you could say, hey, I want to put my head down and relax, you know, and even go outside to a patio and see the nighttime, you know, in the summer, you relax and have that. You'd be like, oh man, it'd be great. Have a little snack on the side, you know. So it's a very good wine. I really believe it. I think we would need to go out there and try it. So
Oh man. Appreciate you. Yeah, you know, like I said, the wine itself is made by non-GMO grapes, all
yep,
natural, organic. We don't even use tap water because in tap water you got your chemicals, the chlorines, and things like that.
right.
So we use reverse osmosis. That's what makes it nice and smooth. And then the grapes is nice and pure. Yeah, as you say, it's one of those things that we're just getting some nice traction from the consumer, as you know, and this is a excellent opportunity for all those investors out there because
I agree.
my objective is to take this thing and IPO it and become one of the largest holistic drinks out there.
Yeah, yeah, you know, one of the biggest things is, you know, as a consumer, you know, you're always trying to find something that is going to give you, you know, pleasure, and then, you know, and it comes down to, you know, how your body and the chemical can connect to that. You know, everything you
Right,
drink, anything, you know, our taste buds. You know, I drink so many different wines, and you know, then you get that aftertaste,
right,
you know, and that you could tell that's like that manufacturing type of that's because, you know, they make millions and millions of bottles. And I give you an example. You know, there's a red wine or a Zinfandel made from California,
right,
you know, and you could taste the aftertaste of some of these wines, you know, so because they're doing it, you know, through manufacturing, you know,
mhm,
and how they're doing it, you know, from using whatever they're using. But, you know, some of these wines have that real strong aftertaste after you drink it, you know. And I'll say one thing about this wine. When you drink it, there is no aftertaste to this. And it's,
right,
you know, there is in it. It's actually a very smooth wine, a very comfortable wine. So when you say the word organic,
mhm,
that to me, that tells me it's a natural, clear, crispy wine,
right,
you know. And so my guests could, you know, enjoy this wine as a group, and you know, because the word organic means natural,
right,
you know, and when it says that in the label, so what's in the bottle, it is natural,
right,
you know, and it's naturally fermented. It's
right,
naturally, it's all, it's got that crisp,
right,
fresh taste to it. So every
right.
time you open a bottle, it's like you're opening very good, fresh wine.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So organic and specifically for me, I'm really harping on the non-GMO style also
Yep.
because the GMO is a altered cell at the plant level,
Yep.
within the plant level, I should say. So
Right.
so reverse osmosis water and the 100% organic grapes. We just there's no company out there in the nation who can produce that, and this is why it's needed. Let's part real quick. I know you're a busy man, you know, doing all your food, right? Well, Lopez, dude, me and you, we can talk about this all day. You know?
We can write a book on this, man.
I know. But I know you're busy, Doc, and I just really appreciate you taking some time out. Talk about the wine, and then let's talk about helping these people in their leadership.
Well,
I'm always here for you. I appreciate your time, brother.
You're here too, man. I want to really say in closing that you know, you have a good product, man, and
appreciate you.
And you know, and people that listen to this out there, you know, please contact Dr. Bagley. Please check out this, you know, this wine. It's a great investment. You will not lose no money out of it. He has a good package with this, and you know, for me to taste it, and I'll be turning my friends on, and some of the guys I know, even in the NFL, some of these guys. So it's a very good product, and to be honest, really check it out. And for the ladies, man, it's we're in the holiday season. You know, you want to get something for your wife or your girlfriend, buy this product, and I guarantee you.
Speaking of, did your wife like it?
She's gonna let you know in about tonight.
And hey guys, the reason I'm even saying this, I gave the Lopez family one bottle. He drank it all himself. He didn't even give
I did. Hey, yes, I did, man. Hey, I had a long day, and I drank the whole bottle.
Anyway,
let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
I slept like a baby.
I know you did.
I slept, and I thought, let me tell you, the next day, I felt great. I felt like I put on my boxing gloves and that's why I like this. I like this product, and I think it's a great. To me, I think the females are gonna really love it because it's got a beautiful texture. And I know there's a lot of women that drink a lot of wine, and I can really believe they will be super impressed with this wine.
In fact, the marketing studies show that majority, 79% females like this. Out of 100, 79 females like this.
See, look at that.
Yeah, this is definitely
I can't deny it because it is good. I mean, it really is good, and that's.